Think about the last time you had $1 million idea, that spark in your chest. That rush of adrenaline. What's the first thing you did? If you're like 90% of people, you picked up your phone. You texted your best friend. You posted a big things coming story on Instagram. Maybe you told your parents over dinner. And in that moment, when they said, "Wow, that's amazing. You're going to be so successful. Incredible." But here's the cold, hard truth. That feeling, that was a trap. Welcome back to Improve Your Mindset. Today, we're talking about the one habit that is quietly killing your potential before you even get started. We're talking about the validation loop. Psychologists have found that, when you announce a goal to the world, your brain experiences a premature sense of completeness. It releases the dopamine you are supposed to earn through hard work just for talking about it. You've essentially tricked your brain into thinking you've already won, and in doing so, you've robbed yourself of the hunger required to actually do the work. Today, I'm going to show you why silence is your greatest competitive advantage. We're going to dive into the psychology of energy protection, the danger of unqualified chefs, and how to move in a way that makes your success loud enough that you never have to say a word. In 2009, NYU psychologist Peter Gollwitzer conducted a famous study. He found that people who kept their intentions private were significantly more likely to achieve them than those who made them public. Why? Because of something called identity symbols. When you tell people, "I'm training for a marathon," your identity shifts in your mind to the runner. You haven't even laced up your shoes yet, but you're already enjoying the social status of a marathoner. Your brain says, "Cool, we got the reward. Why bother with the 5 a.m. runs in the rain?" When you talk about your plans, you're spending success currency that you haven't earned yet. Think of your ambition like a pressurized steam engine. In the early stages of a project, that pressure, that slight feeling of being unsettled or not there yet, is the fuel that moves the pistons. When you tell everyone your plans, you're opening the valves, you're letting the steam leak out. You feel lighter, sure, you feel less pressured. But the engine has stopped moving. Improve your mindset tip. If you want to keep the fire burning, you have to keep the door shut. Let's talk about the people you're telling. Most of the time, we share our dreams because we want support. But what we usually get is a mental infection. Every time you share a raw, unformed idea, you're inviting someone else to project their own fears, insecurities, and limitations onto it. Imagine you're building a tech startup. You tell your Uncle Bob. Now, Bob is a great guy, but he's worked a 9-to-5 at a paper mill for more than 40 years. He loves you, so he wants you to be safe. He says, "Gosh, that sounds risky. Are you sure you shouldn't just look for a job with good benefits?" Suddenly, his fear is now your doubt. You didn't need a lecture on risk management. You needed to build a prototype. But because you opened the door, Bob walked in and rearranged the furniture in your mind. Most people don't see your vision because it isn't theirs. Your vision was given to you, not a committee. When you ask for everyone's opinion, you're trying to build a masterpiece using a paint-by-numbers kit designed by people who aren't even artists. This is the part that's hard to hear. Not everyone wants you to win, even the people who like you. Humans are wired for social hierarchy. When you announce that you're leveling up, it subconsciously reminds others that they are staying the same. Your growth is a mirror that reflects their stagnation. There is a phenomenon called crabs in a bucket. If you put one crab in a bucket, it will easily climb out. But if you put 10 crabs in a bucket and one tries to escape, the others will reach up and pull it back down to its certain death. They don't do it because they hate the crab. They do it because they don't want to be left behind. When you keep your plans quiet, you're not being sneaky, you're being protective. You are allowing your seed to take root deep in the soil where no one can pull it up just to see how much it has grown. Wait until you're a tree. By the time they see your success, your roots will be so deep that no amount of jealousy or negativity can knock you over. Real power doesn't need a spotlight. When the principle is strong, It stands on its own. You don't need famous names to prove a point. Results do that for you. A small number of carefully chosen examples is far more powerful than frequent name dropping. 1 or 2 references are enough to create clarity and credibility. Beyond that point, names stop adding value and start distracting from the message itself. The goal is not to borrow authority from famous people, but to let the idea stand on its own. When the lesson is strong, it doesn't need constant reminders of who else succeeded. In future scripts, focus on principles over personalities. Results resonate longer than recognition. Now, I'm not saying you should be a hermit. Isolation can be just as dangerous as oversharing. The key is selective transparency. You need a board of directors for your life. This isn't your Instagram followers. It's not your high school buddies. This is a tiny group, maybe 2 or 3 people, who meet 3 specific criteria. They have skin in the game. They are either doing what you want to do, or have already done it. They are radical truth tellers. They care more about your success than your feelings. They are energy neutral. They don't get jealous, they get inspired. If you're starting a business, talk to a mentor who has built one. If you're getting fit, talk to a coach. These people don't give you vague praise that triggers dopamine. They give you critical feedback that triggers everyone else. They get the after-action report. They get to see the finished product. I want to give you the Improve Your Mindset 30-Day Silence Challenge. For the next 30 days, I want you to pick one major goal, something you're passionate about, and I want you to tell absolutely no one. Asterisk, don't post the day one gym selfie. Don't tell your coworkers about the side hustle you're starting. Don't talk about the book you're writing. Just do it. Watch what happens to your focus. Notice how, after the first week, the itch to tell someone starts to fade. Notice how that energy starts to funnel directly into the work. You'll find that when you're not worried about shaping the narrative of your success, you actually have time to build it. Remember, your results don't need a PR team. A Ferrari doesn't need an ad campaign to let you know it's fast. It just drives by. At the end of the day, your life is not a reality TV show. You don't owe anyone a play-by-play of your journey. There is a profound peace that comes from knowing you are working on something great, and only you know the scale of it. It's like having a secret weapon. The world is loud. Everyone is shouting for attention. Everyone is manifesting, and announcing, and launching. Be the person who just arrives. Stop seeking permission. Stop seeking validation. And for heaven's sake, stop telling people your plans. Work hard in the dark, so that when you finally step into the light, you don't have to explain anything. The light will speak for itself. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm find others who need to hear this. Subscribe to Improve Your Mindset for your weekly dose of mental clarity. And before you go, comment below with one word: silent. It tells me you recommitted to the 30-day challenge and you ready to let your results do the talking. What's your next move? I'll see you in the next video.